What happens when a human crosses an invisible boundary, and doesn't even know it exists? In the remote forests and open wilderness of North America, territories are quietly defined, not by fences or signs, but by scent, sound, and memory. For the gray wolf, territory is everything. It is where they hunt, raise their young, and survive. Wolves are highly social animals, living in structured family groups known as packs. Each pack occupies a specific range, often spanning dozens or even hundreds of square miles. Within that space, they know every trail, every watering spot, every seasonal change. To a human, these landscapes may seem empty or peaceful. To a wolf, they are home. And when a human unknowingly steps into that space, something shifts. It begins quietly. A hiker moves through a dense forest, following a narrow path. The air is still, broken only by the sound of boots against leaves. There is no immediate sign of danger, no sudden movement. But the wolves already know. Their senses are finely tuned. A wolf can detect unfamiliar scent from miles away. The moment a human enters their territory, the pack becomes aware. Not alarmed, not aggressive, but alert. Because in the wild, awareness is survival. At first, the wolves keep their distance. They observe from afar, hidden by terrain and vegetation. Their coats blend seamlessly into the environment, making them nearly invisible. The human continues forward unaware. This is how most encounters begin. Not with confrontation, but with observation. As the human moves deeper into the territory, the wolves begin to adjust their behavior. Wolves are not naturally inclined to approach humans. In fact, their instinct is to avoid potential threats. But territory introduces a different dynamic. This is not just any space. It is a place where pups may be hidden nearby, where recent kills are stored, where survival resources are concentrated. Because of this, wolves shift from passive observation to active monitoring. One wolf may circle downwind, using scent to gather information. Another may position itself along a ridge, watching movement patterns. The pack communicates silently, through body language and subtle vocal cues. No loud howls. No dramatic signals. Just quiet coordination. The human may begin to sense something unusual. Perhaps the forest feels quieter than before. Birds stop calling. Small animals disappear into cover. These subtle changes are not random. They are responses to the presence of a top predator adjusting its environment. Still, there is no direct threat. Wolves assess risk carefully. A lone human is unfamiliar, unpredictable. Unlike prey, humans walk upright, make irregular movements, and carry unfamiliar scents. This uncertainty often leads wolves to maintain distance. However, certain conditions can change that balance. If the human moves closer to a den site, especially during pup-rearing season, the wolf's behavior becomes more assertive. Not aggressive in the sense of attack, but more visible, more deliberate. A wolf may briefly step into view, not charging, not chasing, but standing still. Watching. This is not curiosity alone. It is communication. A message that the boundary has been crossed. The human, seeing the wolf, may feel a surge of fear or awe. But the wolf's posture matters. Ears forward, body steady, eyes focused. It is not hunting. It is evaluating. And often, it is encouraging distance. Because for wolves, the goal is not confrontation. It is control of space. If the human continues forward, ignoring or misinterpreting the signal, the wolves may escalate their presence. More individuals may appear, still keeping distance, but increasing visibility. This creates a psychological pressure. The human begins to realize they are not alone. At this point, most encounters reach a turning phase. The human stops, changes direction, or retreats. And as soon as that happens, the wolves begin to withdraw. Not because they are defeated, but because their objective has been achieved. The territory is respected again. What makes these encounters remarkable is not what happens, but what usually does not happen. Despite their reputation, wolves rarely attack humans. Across North America, confirmed incidents are extremely uncommon. This is not due to weakness or lack of capability. It is a result of evolutionary behavior. Wolves have learned, over generations, that humans are not typical prey. They are unpredictable, often dangerous, and not worth the risk. This understanding shapes every interaction. Even when humans enter their territory, wolves rely on distance, awareness, and controlled signaling rather than direct conflict. But the story does not end there. There is a deeper layer to these encounters. When humans walk into wolf territory, they are not just entering a physical space. They are stepping into a complex ecological system. Wolves play a critical role in maintaining balance. By regulating prey populations, they influence vegetation growth, water systems, and even the behavior of other species. Their presence shapes the landscape in ways that are not always visible. So when a human passes through, and wolves quietly adjust, observe, and guide the interaction without escalation, it reflects something larger. A system working as it should. The forest remains stable. The pack remains intact. The human leaves, often unaware of how close they came to a different kind of encounter. In rare cases, humans may later realize what happened. A distant howl heard after sunset. Tracks discovered along the trail. A fleeting glimpse of movement between trees. These moments hint at the hidden layer of wilderness that exists just beyond human perception. And they reveal a simple truth. In the wild, humans are not always the central presence. Sometimes they are the visitors. And the wolves, moving silently through their territory, decide how that visit unfolds. Not with force, but with awareness, restraint, and balance. In the end, the boundary remains invisible. But it is always there.